It also just feels good sometimes to scream into the darkness instead of whisper. This is my version of screaming. This is as emotional as you're gonna get. Hi, I'm Willie and this is the Breslin, and today we're gonna spend some time talking about the plants that I don't like. Which is kind of hard because I can be kind of a person who always wants to act like everything's great. So today, I'm going to share that wisdom with you and try and remind myself that you don't always have to like everything. It's like a joy audit in reverse. It's all shadow work. Let's get started. I just want to give a friendly reminder that these are just my opinions. They definitely shouldn't stop you in your journey of discovery and acquiring your favorite plants, because I'm not an expert. I'm just a person who's trying. Okay, up first we have this scindapsus. I know these are supposed to be like a version of a pothos, and they do have these incredible leaves with this metallic pattern. They have a soft, velvety feel. They've never really worked out for me. These do so good for so many people. We got brown tips, we got curled leaves, we have a constant reminder about my deficit as a plant caregiver. If I were looking to quantify my bad behavior, I would say that I have it in too big a pot, which is making it struggle to produce sufficient roots. I would also say I could increase the humidity in the room by running a humidifier or simply misting it with my spray bottle every day. But yeah, I'm all about self-acceptance, and I'm probably not going to do those things. And if you're like me and don't want to do those things either, the scindapsus may prove very challenging. The good thing about it, it is not a super expensive investment. The bad thing about it, it may end up looking like this one. Moving on. The string of pearls. This is a succulent. I have a love-hate relationship with succulents. Some do really good in my care, others languish. This one is languishing. I love the look of these so much. They have a very exotic and textural appearance. They're really beautiful dark emerald green, and they're supposed to offer you a lush and tranquil escape from the urban landscape that is my millennial gray existence. What I think is happening here is I'm not giving it enough sunlight on the top of the plant, and that can be something to watch out for anything that is trailing or spilling over a pot. So I have recently moved this plant to a window with a lot more sunlight, and let's just hope it gets better. Oh, what a world. There is some promising new growth. This is kind of exciting. Would I rebuy this plant? Absolutely. What do they call that when you do the same things over and over again and expect different results? I really want this one to make it. If someone would ask me what is truly my least favorite plant, it would be the neon pothos, because no matter what I do, I can't keep these alive. Over half of the propagations in this pot just keep dying. Just maybe it isn't the plant for me. I'm definitely doing something wrong. Pothos and me get along. You know, I have a lot of them. But this one could have been my greatest adventure. But I'm not giving up yet. I think some of the issues with this specific plant were, again, buying it from Home Depot, and a lot of the propagations did not have very many roots. They were kind of overpacked into the pot. It seems to be really struggling. But you know, getting a start is really hard. I'm taking a very empathetic view, and basically we're in therapy together. So what I am doing is giving it lots of fertilizer. It's in a spot in my house with quite a bit of indirect light. And I'm gonna say if this one perishes, I'll never buy one again, but I have a feeling I probably will. I'm on number 3 now. Does anyone else feel like stuff that's supposed to be simple is always the hardest? Now we're at a point in the list where I'm just going to talk about plants that are a little bit frustrating. And I still like them, but I want to tell you a few things if you're thinking about getting one. And first up we have philodendron gloriosum. I was ecstatic when I found one of these at my local Menards. I had been viewing them through the lens of extreme luxury rare plant for so long that when I got the opportunity, I snatched up 3 sizable gloriosums and put them in this pot. Now, that excitement led me to distortion, but what's new? But what I didn't know was that these are trailing philodendrons. So, they don't grow up, they don't vine, they go like this on the floor of the jungle in their natural habitat. The way that I have mine planted is sort of like in a triangle, so they all grow towards the center, and hopefully this will make a nice bush-like appearance. I like this plant enough that I would probably buy one of those like trough style planters if it doesn't work out in this pot. Just keep that in mind that you may need more space than you're used to for the size of the plant. Another thing is these have velvet leaves. They're delicate, they attract dust, and mine got spider mites, which totally sucks, and it really set it back. There's damage on most of the older leaves, and this is from the spider mites and also the procedures I had to do to get rid of them, and then also the leaves that emerged right after that are just really having a hard time. Luckily, this plant has turned a corner, and the last 2 leaves have been, in my opinion, very healthy, looking good, looking robust. But yeah, velvet plants, they're more work, you have to be more vigilant, and you have to kind of discover problems in very early stages to have a speedy recovery. I was such a novice on the gloriosum. I had no idea about anything, and I thought that the plant actually climbed upward. You live and learn. Admitting vulnerabilities is powerful, and that's what this video is all about. Alright, settling back in. Well, we've reached the point in the video where I'm going to be doing some honorable mentions of plants that are no longer with me. So I can't actually show them to you, but I can talk about my feelings, why I think I lost them. First up, we have the geogenanthus. This is like the coolest plant on earth visually. When I got it, I was ecstatic. It's kind of the only houseplant I would describe as being true midnight black. Well, it's a little bit purple, but it's very, very close. Costa Farms released these 2 years ago. I got one, and slowly but surely, all of the leaves shriveled and died. I think the big problem was these plants need excessive humidity, either like a cloche or a greenhouse, in order to really thrive. I haven't seen this plant out in the wild again, but definitely be aware that I found it challenging, and you might as well. But maybe you just want to strap that cloche on it. Maybe you have a heritage Victorian greenhouse and you're just looking for a plant that looks otherworldly, then I say go for it. They were also very affordable. I think about it often, and I'm not going to do it again. So I couldn't sleep last night, and I was thinking about one more plant to add to the list. This one is by far the most nuanced when I think about plants that I don't really like that much, because aspects of this Baltic blue pothos I really love, but there are a few things that I didn't know and certainly didn't consider before I have committed a large chunk of real estate to this plant. I feel like the Baltic blue likes to grow downward into this beautiful trailing fantasy to a certain extent, but then it gets tired of it and it sends out these runners with no leaves. And I think that is because it would like to climb. No. Oh, no. Now, much like this epipinatum, I could put a trellis or a pole, but I don't have space for that. I didn't consider that. So it's kind of left in this limbo. If you're looking to get one of these, I would give fair warning that they have extremely wide spaces between the nodes, much like my ill-fated golden pothos, rest in peace. So I thought that that was worth mentioning, because I really don't like that aspect of this plant, even though for the most part, it's not that bad. I sound very wishy-washy. All pothos are not created equally, and if you're like me and you want something that has a full head of hair on the top and then trails down, you need to find one that has very tight internodal spacing. Like the global green, the enjoy, or the manjula. Bonus content and life update, I finally got off my ass and chopped up this pink princess. Updates are coming. The pink princess, in my opinion, worth it, but also can be a struggle. Well, there you have it. This was a hard video to make because it's always difficult to revisit things that didn't go the way that you wish they would have. Time keeps passing, we're all learning more lessons, and yeah, I'm applying that to my new plant purchases. This was very helpful and very cathartic, and I just want to say thank you for coming on this journey with me. Knowledge is power, and sometimes a little bit of affirmation is nice. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I'm going to talk to you so soon you won't even miss me. Have the best day ever. Okay. Bye. So in the past, I spent so much of my time worrying about not being negative that I missed the point entirely, and it's totally okay to not like stuff and acknowledge that someone else might.